Welcome back to Grandma Sims. Don't forget to download the shell of this house from the gallery and follow along. Let's decorate and have some fun. Well, here we are. Generation 6. Time is flying by. I can't believe we're already on tomato. It's amazing, really. From what I'm reading about tomato and this generation, tomato is really going to show the world who they are. They are not going to take crap from anybody. I see tomato as being tough. It says here, hot-headed overachiever, but socially awkward. And I think that socially awkward comes from growing up with potato in the hovel home that they grew up in. Tomato had it kind of tough growing up with all these tenants around them and with a parent who wasn't exactly into, raising them. So I think tomato is strong on their own merit. I know it says hot-headed, but I also see that as hot-headed, I see as strong-willed. So when I was reading through all of these different generations, I could envision, and I could envision who they were going to be. And this was one of the very first ones that I did envision. So getting to number 6 and getting to tomato finally is really a lot of fun for me. So I see tomato, going to be a freelance botanist, going to be a gourmet cook, a lot of cooking skills, gardening skills, going to be an appliance whiz, just all these things. And I thought, tomato with the color red and everything, I thought tomato is going to be very eclectic, very boho feeling, very leftover from the 60s, 70s vibe. I was feeling this one. I could envision nothing matching, everything definitely very, earthy. So I built here in the desert. The red, I think, really works with this terracotta desert feeling. I think that's a very good vibe when it comes to doing the red. I didn't see this in a city or anywhere else, especially because of the gardening and the growing the tomato plants. We needed somewhere to do that. I actually think the desert would work really well for that. We should be able to grow plants year round because I don't think it snows in this world, which is great. So this open kitchen, dining, living room, I think with tomato spending a lot of time outside, this open feeling to the living area is good for tomato. And again, things that don't match. Over here we're going to have a greenhouse, and then there's an outdoor cooking area, and of course the garden in the back. I think it all turned out really, really well. I don't think I put a TV in this one. Again, this is another one of those Sims or generations that's not into electronics. Like squash was totally into electronics and going to college and or university, and this is one of those Sims that spends most of their time outside, um, like Carrot did on the farm. So adding obviously a lot of greenery in here, adding a lot of those, these curtains feel very boho to me, and I put them underneath the vines, which are gorgeous. I think it turned out really nice looking. Putting in some music, old LPs. And I love having a house where we can have all these plants, and now that we can have plants that we can actually take care of with the new enchanted pack, that's gonna make it a lot more gameplay for this generation of Sim. Put that flower stand in here. My aunt, I think she has that exact flower stand in her living room with plants all over it. And I swear, if I took a picture of it, it is that exact stand. Not even kidding. So I thought it was appropriate to put it in the living room. Apparently you can do that. So a lot of greenery in here. Being a freelance botanist, I figured Tomato was going to want plants everywhere to take care of. And I love putting the plants in. I don't have to take care of them. And these are the plants you don't have to water. But like I said, with the new pack, there will be plants you have to water and take care of, which I think Tomato will do a great job at. Just putting some herbs in the windows of the kitchen. If we're gonna be, I know those are not herbs you can pick, but being a gourmet cook and maxing out these skills, I figured they would probably have something like that in the kitchen. You know, this living room, so cozy. I mean, it is just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's cluttered, but it's not cluttered to the point where you can't play in this room. It's perfectly cluttered where your Sim can still move around the room and everything works perfectly. But it is so homey. So homey. So we're on to the bathroom. I think I was trying to figure out how to put a shower in here along with the bathtub. Always need a bathtub when you're raising the next generation. Went very terracotta, very earthy, desert vibes in this bathroom. And again, very boho, very eclectic. Just to keep, keeping with the rest of the house. Get some lighting in here. And that's my bad. I don't always, for some reason, sometimes I find myself decorating in the dark and I don't always put lights in the rooms I'm working on. This would be one of those cases where it seems to be really dark over here in this corner. And I will fix that. And I apologize if it's too dark for you to see anything. I do try to remember. It doesn't always. Yeah, we're going to put a little light. And we lit it up. I don't always remember in time, is what I'm trying to say, but I do remember. So I know I said I don't like to put plants in the bathroom, but I think this is a big fake plant. I don't think it's real, as far as, being in the bathroom and being with all the steam and things like that. Of course, maybe a tropical plant would work in a bathroom that gets all steamed up. But I think this one is fake, mostly because of the rocks and things that are inside that planter. I think it's just decorative. And being a botanist, maybe it is real. I'm not sure. It'd be fake if it was my bathroom. Finishing up your typical bathroom items, other than the decorations in a other than the colors in a bathroom, you get all your basics. So this is Tomato's bedroom. Again, sticking with that terracotta floor. And I did go with this more Art Deco style in this bedroom. Again, very eclectic, very boho. We're all over the place. Nothing matches. Everything is cohesive. It may not match style-wise, and that's fine, but it does match theme-wise, as far as the colors and things like that go. That's the way you're matching, but not in style. So you're not doing all horse ranch or all cottage living or all of, one pack. You can be all over the place. The one factor that's making this work is the color. And yeah, that's too low. I like this lamp, but I don't know why they would give you such a big lamp. And that came in a kid's kit, a baby kit, and that lamp is huge. It's weird. Love being able to use these photos in here and bringing in those reds. They're oriental, and the bed is Art Deco, and the chair is from Patio. And yet, if you look at this room, every one of these pieces is working for it. So, like I said earlier, we are on Generation 6. Very exciting. Tomato. And up next, we're going to be decorating here for the next generation, which is cauliflower, in this nursery. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as we move on to Generation 7, which is a cauliflower, and it's all white. And I'm very excited for this next build. And again, this all white nursery, I just in love with it. In love with this all white. Oh, I'm in love with all the nurseries. Baby fever, not me, but I love babies. Who doesn't love babies? I especially love the babies and the toddlers in The Sims. They are so cute. And this nursery turned out as cute as a button. There is a closet in this one, and when you switch from, infant, toddler to child, there's definitely, the closet is a good place for the kids to play. They like to go in there and play. I think that turned out well, the little nursery. We're going to work on, after this nursery, we're going to work on the patio and the backyard. And I think they turned out amazing. But, you know, I'm just tooting my own horn because I love them. A few finishing touches in here, some more lighting. Moving things around. Okay, so this is exciting part. I mean, it's all exciting. I love this house. Like I said, I saw this house in my mind before I even started it. So I knew what it was gonna look like when it happened. But this is the greenhouse. It is attached to the house. You can get to it from this front patio area, and it goes out to the back patio area. So it's kind of this walk-through gardening situation, and I think it's awesome. So be able to grow year-round tomatoes in here, which is one of the things, obviously, that tomato is going to be doing. And these little indoor greenhouses are so cute. Put in the vents up there on the wall because this is the desert. We don't want it to get too hot in the greenhouse because it will burn the plants. So definitely need environmental controls. So I did put in those fans for that purpose. And then this is just putting in all of the gardening stuff that we love. Some starter plants that we got going here. Maybe some little tomato buds that we're just starting out with. Putting some lighting in. These are great greenhouse lights. And some more pots for growing things in. And don't have to just grow tomatoes. I mean, there's a lot of pots in here. You could grow one tomato plant and then grow the other things. I mean, if you're going to be a gourmet cook and have the cooking skill, you know, you're going to, don't grow any trees in here, but you can grow your herbs in here and your other vegetables, your beans, and other things like that to go with the tomatoes. You know, grow your carrots and your onions and your mushrooms, lots of things, obviously. Everybody knows what you can grow in a greenhouse. But that would work perfect for this generation to have all of those fresh ingredients for cooking. This is one of the things that Tomato wants is an outside cooking area, outside, you know, kitchen situation. Love this kind of worn, weathered table with all of these different, you know, different chairs. Again, keeping with our theme, keeping it very, you know, boho. I did put a lot of chairs around this outdoor seating. I thought Tomato would be somebody who would want to cook for people, who would want to have guests over and company and family. Having somebody to cook for. I think that would be right up Tomato's alley. I think that would be perfect for them. So I definitely wanted a lot of sitting areas for all of that company to come over and be enjoyable. I put these in for a couple reasons, and one of them being privacy and the other being, you know, maybe there was some vines that they were growing. So here in the backyard, we're going to do a little something different. You can see I'm getting ready to put all the backyard plants in. And what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out what I want. A tree, some plants, and I looked around the neighborhood to find these plants that I wanted. Some rocks, some flowers. These are ground flowers, and you can see them. They're just over there. A little flowering bush. I just went through, I looked at the neighborhood, I looked at what I wanted, and I pulled it out. And then we are going to do a real quick transformation here. And you're going to see the finished product in a second. Yeah, there it is. Didn't it turn out beautiful? These are just the plants you saw me pull out. There is nothing different. These all were exactly those plants. I put in the sprinklers because it is the desert and she would want to keep her plants watered. So I did put that in. I did put the sprinklers in. And then I put the pots around the back too, so she can grow plants outdoors as well. And then I just took those same plants from the back, the same plants and rocks and things, and I put some of those in the front. Just decorating, a little around the bottom of the house. I think it's a gorgeous garden. Definitely a place to entertain, to, raise the next generation. Here's that front patio. We're just going to put in a little sitting area, a little welcoming area before going into the house. On those nice, cool summer evenings when you can sit outside, this would be a beautiful place to sit and just relax and maybe enjoy your neighbors stopping by to say hi. Going to put in some lighting. I think it turns out really cute. I did put in these little fairy lights kind of all over the yard, just to light things up a little bit. So, like I said, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You are going to want to see Generation 7 cauliflower. Really cool build. Really turned out well. I think you're going to be in love with it as much as I am. And very excited to see that one come up next. So just remember, always keep it creative, keep it cozy, and I will see you for that next video.